Hey, what's up guys? Rudy here. I was gonna do a demonstration again. Kirk had, well, he didn't ask me, but I told Kirk that I was gonna do like a, kind of another demo here. You can see my cat. I got a little cat plush that I got from Tractor Supply. It was like $5 on clearance. I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna buy it. It's really cute. So I'm keeping it right there. It's right on my, I don't know if you can see it. It's right, let me fix this. There we go. It's right on my edge of my chair there. Fix that. So I always start off so phlegmy. So I'm gonna do a probably do another drawn demo. Well, I'm gonna listen to Kirk's video and then I'll get into like the drawn demo stuff in a minute. So the setup I have here, a little unorthodox, but there is like a, I'm not sure how to explain it, like a streaming, like you can use your phone as a webcam. You can use your phone as a webcam using this website called vdo.ninja, and I've been using that for a while. So anytime you see me kind of using this strange setup, I'm using my phone as a webcam right here, and then I have my other webcam up here, and that's what I'm using for the microphone. So yeah, that's what's going on here. I can show y'all real quick. See, there's the phone right there. Keep it plugged in because it drains the shit out of the battery, like really bad. Also got a new. I'll show y'all real quick if I can aim it down. See that? I got a fridge. Mini fridge. It's like $120, I think. Kind of a late Father's Day gift. My wife just said we weren't able to find. She had been putting it off to get me a mini fridge since Father's Day, and she was like, just go to Target, get whatever you want. And jeez, no, I've been putting it off, and finally I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna take my daughter to Target. We're gonna find one, pick one out. Yeah, I've been wanting one of those for a while, but so we're gonna get into. Also got this keyboard, like one of them cringe fucking RGB. This was $8 at Five Below, yeah. It's okay so far. It's kind of weird. It's made out of it's weird material. It feels like metal, sort of. I guess it is metal. Yeah, feels like metal. Whatever. So I'm gonna stick it back here. Hope they don't fuck something up. I don't have any GIFs up. Hold on. I want to put a GIF up. Something. I had a Holly B. Wood. Well, Hollywood from Cool World. That I forgot to transfer over from a 4chan thread. I wanted to put that as like one of my dancing GIFs. I kind of forgot about it. Oh well. Where do I keep my shit? Just bear with me. Should I put? I'm not sure who to put. Give me a second here. Should I do Anka again? It's one I haven't used before. I haven't used this before. I guess that'll do. Gotta put it somewhere. Don't really got room for it, I guess. Yeah, I guess that's fine. I'll put it in the corner there. Dancing Shantae. Sure it's all in frame. There we go. Do something like that, I guess. Just to be stupid. I don't know. Just something I enjoy doing, you know. Also the video might be like delayed, I guess, with my voice. We'll see how that looks in post editing or whatever. So yeah, there's my webcam. I have the sticky note. I guess I don't really need it. Don't really matter. I used to put it on there because I didn't like the light, and I could still kind of see the light anyway. I got this fucker on a gooseneck. I could show it real quick. Dude, see, I got right there on a gooseneck. It's my controller. It's an 8-bit do wired controller. That's my setup. Blah blah blah. Chrono trigger. It's flipping around. I think that's good. So I went and got a Sunkist. It shows it reversed on the phone, but it shows it, right side the way it's supposed to. This camera is actually upside down, so I have to flip it vertically for it to show it on here the right way. Yeah, so I got that set up. Bottoms up, I guess. Smoke them if you got them. Right now, right now I got a bunch of, how can I put this? I got a mess on my desk. Right now I got a bunch of Sunkist in there. And that mini fridge easily holds like probably about 4 packs if I really wanted to get it in there. I got 24 packs, 12 packs. I got about 24 cans in there right now. They could easily fit, another 24 and probably then some. So it's a pretty chunky pretty chunky little fridge for 120 bucks. I'm actually pretty impressed by it. Just got it today, And you get some different flavors in there, get some root beer in there, get some of that Tampico that I like or whatever. Alright, let's go ahead and get into it. I just got through shaving my head a while ago. I don't know if y'all can see. Yep. I wish I could get it higher, but let's see, I can probably do that. It's like I have it leaning against my monitor. I don't know. Yeah, that's not gonna work. Oh well. Oopsie. Here we go. Still see my cat. Yep. Let's get into Kirk's video and we'll cover a few things.
So I guess I didn't have like that much to specifically talk about. Just earlier, I was kind of bored and
I'm gonna turn my filters on.
A little bit of drawing practice and stuff, and I used the pencil more than a pen or whatever. I like drawing with a pencil. It is just annoying that as you're drawing, obviously, or whatever you're doing with it, it fucking keeps getting more and more like blunted and dull or whatever, like pretty quickly. And I guess it all depends mostly on how much pressure that you put onto it, obviously, how quickly it dulls out or blunts. And it's kind of annoying with the pencil sharpener that I have on hand, like
oh yeah.
I don't know, maybe that's just always how it is with like pencils, like it doesn't always sharpen very nice, and then it feels like you have to keep sharpening it just to get like, there's always like one side that gets like more
yeah, we're gonna go over that.
It's more covered.
I guess I'll go ahead and demo that.
Wood or whatever, so then you have like only one, it feels like only one side that has like any graphite exposed on it or whatever. Maybe it's just a shitty pencil sharpener, maybe it's just shitty pencils, I don't know. Just kind of annoying. But I like drawing with a pencil. I kind of like the feel to an extent.
Yeah, we'll start with that. So, let me pause. I gotta go find my box cutter. I know I should have got that in advance, but whatever. Caught myself a lucky. Very lucky. See, there's this guy. This little guy. He's so goofy. He's freaking out right now. He's kind of skittish right now. Yeah. Oh, I see what it is. He sees my kitty cat. Come up here, Lucky. He's over here sneaking around. I'm afraid to touch him right now. That's how skittish he is. Come on, little dude. Such a goofball. He's seen that before. I don't really know why he's freaking out, but he's just kind of a little scaredy cat a lot of times. So I got a box cutter. You don't have to use a fancy one like this. I gotta grab a pencil too, that would help. So let me do that. I should have prepared a little better, but it is what it is. Alright, I also wanted to show this. So went ahead and got a pencil. Just a plain old 2B, I don't know how to say that. It's one of my favorite pencils. I don't know how to say that brand name. Ticonderoga? I think it's how you say it. But they're really soft. They spread really well on the paper. And then I bought this I got this from Find Below. I think this was about $5. I actually kind of highly suggest that. If you want to get into art, I'm not in the mood, or really, how to put it, I'm not trying to get you to spend money. You know what I'm saying? I'm an advocate for just, plain old printer paper, cheap pen, cheap pencil, that's all you need. But, it can be fun to buy stuff like this and kind of get into it. Maybe I'll show something off. But this kind of stuff, like the charcoal and whatnot, is meant for like sketching paper. So you probably, if you do decide to get something like this, just get like a plain sketchbook. You don't have to spend a whole lot. Get a cheap $5 sketchbook. Find this for like $5, and just go to town. You know what I'm saying? So this comes with. I'm fucking blind, apparently. So 8 sketching pencils, 6 sanding paper. What has sanding paper in it? Oh, I see it. It's back there. Nice. Ow, I actually like that. I'm glad I bought it now. 4 soft pastels, which is this right here. Yeah, these are the pastels. An eraser. So 3 graphite sticks. So it's gonna be, when they say graphite sticks, they really just mean plain pencils. Just FYI. Blend and stump and kneaded eraser. So the blended stump is right here. That's a blended stump right there. There's another name for it that's like Italian, I forget what. And there's the kneading eraser. These are awesome. These kneading erasers are badass. Maybe I'll demonstrate that. So 1 vinyl eraser, which is that. A pastel pencil, which is this thing. This white one right here. Pastel pencil. I don't have a sketchbook at the ready, I don't think, so won't really be able to demonstrate. I'll look for it in a minute and see maybe if I can find it. And 1 pencil sharpener, so basic bitch kind of sharpener here. It came with charcoal sticks, right? Yeah, 3 charcoal sticks. So I'm using one of these things. I don't think I got. I think I got this one from Amazon. They're pretty good. So let's go and open this. Like I said, not necessary. Don't worry about it, but shit ain't necessary. It did come with sand and paper. Be really careful with these fucking these blades. Like, they cut away from you when you're sharpening. We'll get into that in a minute. So it really did come with like sand and paper. Wow. That's actually pretty fucking convenient, because I was thinking I needed sand and paper. So there's the charcoal sticks. In case you don't know, I'll explain what the B thing shit means. So H means hard, B means, to me it means bold, but whatever. So hard and bold, right? That's how I remember. So it starts from H, and it goes back to B, and then forward to H1, 2 through 8, whatever. H means hard. The harder the graphite, the lighter the harder the graphite, the lighter the lines are going to be, and the bolder the graphite, the bolder. I think of the word bold, right? The darker it's going to be. So it really starts off as feels like H. Say this is the middle, B, and then it goes H1, all the way to 8. And B, B1, B8. So this is light, this is dark. I should have put it over here, but you get what I'm saying. Pretend that didn't exist. All right, so that's the scale right there for pencils and charcoal. So start, like I said, think of H as the middle. H and B, think of those as the middle, and B1. That's what a B2 pencil means. You know what I'm saying? B2 is like the lightest you're gonna get. Where does it say it? Yeah, B. It's actually it says, if I can get it to focus. It's hard to tell. Might as well keep this out. So it says, I'll just read it off. It says HB2. And this all depends on the manufacturer, okay? This shit ain't really that important. I'm just kind of quickly explaining it. So this is a HB pencil. So that's literally like right in the middle. I know like this, like when it comes to like school testing and whatnot, and what they allow the pencil hardness to be. So the softer the lead, the darker the darker the marks, the harder the lead. It's not really lead. The harder the graphite, the lighter the marks. So that's what that means. So HB would be somewhere in the middle. And then B is bold. It's dark. 2B is darker. All right. Soft, medium, hard. Soft is gonna leave. The soft charcoal right here. This is graphite. My bad. These are graphite bars. Okay. I think I said these were charcoal. These aren't charcoal. This is graphite. It's a lot harder than charcoal. Charcoal's soft. So soft is going to leave a lot more material, meaning it's going to get bolder. Medium, hard. The harder the material, the less material is going to be left on the paper, the lighter the marks. That's the idea. And these are the pastels, eraser. There's the rubber, vinyl. Not vinyl. This is vinyl. That's the rubber. What was the name of it again? I'm a fake artist. So that was the heated eraser. Stupid. There's the pastel. This is a charcoal stick, I believe. Yeah, it's a charcoal stick. And then we have the pencils back here, 6 pencils. Of various hardness. There's a 4B there, 2B. There is a 6B, so that's really dark. So we might demonstrate that, alright? Maybe. We'll see where the night takes us. I don't know how long this video is going to be, so I'm just going to set this aside. We'll get into sharpening. So this gets a little messy. Let's see if I can do this. So so the idea is to scrape off the wood, to slice off the wood with your with like a box cutter or a straight edge, Don't worry about the little shitball sharpeners. So make sure you're cutting it away from yourself, okay? I'm just gonna get into it. And I'm out of practice, so I might turn on the light. Hold on. Ooh, got a halo effect going on. I guess that's fine for now. I'm not gonna keep it on forever. I just need to see better. So let's get into it. You can just ignore the radiant halo on my head right now. It's kind of ironic that I was talking about that recently. So just be patient. I don't know if you can see, I'm scraping off the wood right on the edge. I'm slowly scraping that off. You can get an idea how much you want to scrape off. Let's say I want to reveal about this much lead. You can make a marking. Be real careful. Do not cut yourself. See how much lead I'm exposing? And if you break the lead, it's not a big deal. Just start over. Have some patience. You'll get used to it eventually. You're going to scrape a little bit of graphite off. It's fine. Cat's going crazy out there. He really wants in my daughter's room. He loves it in there. There we go. Something like that. This is a demonstration, okay? See how much lead I'm exposing? You can keep going. You know, go further back. Cut off more wood. It's just a pencil. It's not that serious. This is how I sharpen my pencils, okay? That way, you don't have to worry about the little fuckball, you know, goofball ass pencil sharpeners only sharpening one side. That shit's annoying. They're trash for the most part. Alright. So let's get the wood off here. And you can go the extra mile with it. Get some of that sandpaper and kind of round it off. Because right now, it's hard to tell, but I'm cutting the graphite to the point where it's kind of flattening out on the edges. I don't know if y'all can see. Focus. I wish I could make it focus better. It is what it is. But y'all get the idea, right? So it leaves a mess, right? Not a big deal. So that's how you sharpen your pencil. If you don't have a utility knife, you know, Kirk, I'm pretty sure your dad has one somewhere. I'm sure you do. You know, most men, like most guys, have a utility knife somewhere. You know, fucking somewhere. It's just the way we're built, I guess. Alright, let me turn off the light. Alright, so we got that. Just need a demo. So yeah, I showed you that. Start with basic shapes and whatnot. Helps frame reference. Supposed to have a frame. Oh, the vertical. Alright, the horizontal lines. We'll go over that in a minute. So, demonstrated that pretty good, I think. Alright, adjusted things a little bit. Let's get a new sheet of paper. We'll go over what I drew here in a minute. So I'm gonna go grab I had to go steal some more printer paper from my wife. I don't have my own right now. This shit's man, printer paper is practically free, you know what I'm saying? Paper in general. Let's adjust this real quick. There we go. So now that we got all that lead exposed, we can shade a lot faster. That's a drumstick, you know, that drumstick kind of grip I talked about. I'm gonna demonstrate that kneaded eraser now that since we're doing this. So if I wanted to quickly shade it a shape, kind of do this, barely touching the paper. Or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Wish it was focusing a little better. Alright. I'm gonna make some real quick. But like I said, this way you don't have to worry about running out of graphite. It's too soon, you know what I'm saying? So it's a lot more reliable this way. So you don't have to fuck around. And if you want to, you see how it's kind of bulging right there? You could scrape all that off right here and get it at a better angle. That way when your pencil hits the paper, when it's going out the side like that, you'll actually get more graphite on there. Because right now I can feel the edge of that wood hitting the paper, and I don't like that. So if I had more time, I would scrape all of this off. I would scrape all of this off. So I'm gonna make really deep. And if the lead breaks, just fix it. You know, cut it again. Not a big deal. If you want to, you know, how I'm shading, just turn it around, shade on the other side. I got into the habit of when I do draw with pencil or whatever, I have a habit of twisting it, like turning it as I'm drawing with it. That's just me. So I'm gonna make some kind of bold marks here. And we're gonna ruin this kneaded eraser. There we go. It's a pretty good kit. And here's the tortilla. The what are these called again? Blender. These are called blenders. I'll demonstrate that too. These work a lot better on sketch paper. Try not to cut myself here. See if I got that mark. Oh man. There we go. So this is like a putty, like a, it's a kneaded eraser, kind of putty material. Can't tell if that's plastic or not. Put it right here. I don't know what that is. Anyway, so you can shape this. Before you handle one of these, you can wash your hands just so you don't get dirt, a whole lot of dirt on it. But these are meant to be shaped into whatever shape you need them to be in, and you can use it to erase. This is an eraser, okay? So I'm going to demonstrate it. I'm going to make it to like a kind of a cone shape there, and you can make this into a point if you want to. You really want to get in there to do details, like to lift up. This is what the intention of this is, to lift up the material, the graphite. You can use it on charcoal. And they're reusable, so see that mark? And you can see the material on there it picked up. Really, really handy for highlights, for erasing, whatever you want to do. Look at that. That's what that's for. So if you ever wondered, you ever see people when they're drawing, they're doing like this shit, like touching their paper with this weird thing, that's what that is. Look at that. I can make a dot, you can make little dots, lift up the material however you want. I can delete this shit. Look at that. Fucking deleted. Really cool. Can start over. It's a lot easier than, it's fucking a lot easier than using this piece of shit right here. These are garbage, okay? These are fucking trash. These erasers are trash. But like I said, you don't have to get any of this, okay? I'm just demonstrating it. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this now. Not gonna fit back in the hole. We're about to try. Square it up. Yeah, that's good. So really cool. Those are awesome. Squish it in there. So we're gonna do this again, and you can still kind of see the outline, but so we're going to, I'm not sure how else to demonstrate this, so let's go ahead and it's gonna, I'm not sure if this is gonna show too well, but I think it'll be fine. So these things are meant to blend. This works a lot better on sketch paper, but you can blend like this to kind of spread the material. It's really helpful. Kind of like the blend tool in like Photoshop or whatever. So if you want to blend your shit, it's really good for like faces or whatever you're trying to shade. Alright? That's what that is. And you can scrape that off if you need to. You can get your razor, lightly scrape it off, you know. Whatever. That's what that does. And there's a big difference. Oh, you can see the dot. You can see the light. I might have to put that sticky note back. That's really stupid. So just to kind of show the difference between blended and not blended. I'll see if I'll about finding some sketch paper in a minute. So you can see the difference there between blending and non-blending. So it just depends on what kind of effect you want. So that's what these little fuck balls are for. Really cool, alright? Drawing's supposed to be fun, guys. It's not so serious. I don't have to demonstrate that. You know what sandpapering is, right? Just if you want to sharpen your shit, just sandpaper it over. I feel the need to demonstrate that. Different size holes. You really wanted to put your if you want to get started, let's say you have a pencil like this. Yeah, like this. Is this a charcoal? I'm not sure. I think this is a charcoal. This is a charcoal stick. So if you really wanted to, you know, get it in there to get started, right? So get this started, get the wood down using this because it's probably a lot easier to start with, and then take your razor and start shaving off the wood. That's how I would handle that. That's just me. So charcoal sticks, charcoal pencils are really fucking cool. I like them a lot. What else we got? We got a 6B here. I'm going to show you the difference. So we got a 2B here. More than likely, this is probably a plain 2B, if I were to just guess. Like I said, it depends on the manufacturer. They like to label their shit however they feel like they want to label it. A bunch of fucking hipsters. Straighten this out. Look at that. Look how deep that is. Let's see, the lightest touch I can get. See, I have a light touch, guys. I'm bragging, right? But that's my lightest touch with this 6B pencil. And I can get it about as light as this is with the 2B. Making sure it's showing well. The regular 2B. That's the lightest with both, you know, both pencils there. Darkest, look at that. Look how bold that is. So get your darkest darks there. Spreads pretty nicely too. Spreads even better on sketch paper. And you can get your needed eraser. Ooh. Takes a few more strokes to get it that way. So look at that. Cut right through it. These things are a miracle. I don't know what they're made of actually. I'm not sure what material they're made of. So let's find another pencil here. So this gold color they use is really annoying. So it's a 4H, 4B, 2H. I'm not sure what that is. I ain't gonna worry about it. That's hard H. There's our charcoal. That's our pastel. This is just a plain B. So it looks like that's a 2B. So this is the boldest one in there, the 6B. And you can kind of tell the difference that it's a tiny bit darker, but so this is the 6B. This is a regular B. Now you can get pretty dark with these, even with the plain B. The B. Which one is this again? 6B. I'm gonna really dig in there. Look at that. What's the difference? There's B. I'm gonna dig it in there. So yeah. And it just depends on how much pressure you want to put, you know. Like I'm really digging into these. 2B. And start light. More pressure, more pressure, more pressure, more pressure. It's a B right here. Kind of gradually It's as dark as it'll go. Yep. Light, 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 light. Yep, that's that. Well, having fun, guys. Now get your arm moving. Graphite sticks. I'm not sure where my sketchbooks are. I know I keep bitching about that, but the rest of this stuff is better off on the sketchbook, so I'm just gonna skip this. Just skip the rest. Y'all get the point. I'm not sure what the point of that was. Just showing y'all what you can do with the different mediums, you know. There's different mediums out there. Y'all know that, but this is the world of drawing. So yeah, let's continue with Kirk's video real quick. I think I demonstrated that well enough.
One thing, and man, it fucking gets, I mean, I wash my hands, but it gets fucking graphite everywhere, man. Like, that shit, like, even if you just touch the paper with the graphite on it, like, I've been drawing, for whatever reason, I've been drawing, as you said, Rudy, with that kind of holding drumstick hold position, and I don't really dislike it. It's kind of nice in some ways, and yeah, it doesn't feel as like it's not something that we were taught to use to like use a pencil or whatever with that kind of grip. But I kind of like it. There's something about it, and it definitely feels good if you're like doing coloring or shading or whatever. It definitely feels better for that, I think. But I mean, maybe I shouldn't do that, but maybe I'll continue using the grip. I kind of like it. But yeah, and it definitely feels good if you're like doing coloring or shading or whatever. It definitely feels better for that, I think. But I mean, maybe I shouldn't do that, but maybe I'll continue using the grip. I kind of like it.
I only really suggested the grip. I'll use this to just get used to moving your arm, to get into drawing, to get the mind into drawing mode is kind of the purpose of that, is just kind of just practice with that a little bit. Don't take it too seriously. You know, the wall thing, I just suggested that as a means to get your arm moving and get you used to, you know, the shoulder movements and all that. Using your shoulder, using your elbow. Just get used to those movements. That's kind of the only reason I kind of suggested that, is to get your mind into drawing mode. Use a pencil. Get your mind into drawing mode rather than, you know, writing mode. Because it's going to take a while to kind of break that. It may or may not, right? It just depends on your disposition, I guess. Yeah, just practice it. You don't have to keep doing it, right? It's good for shading. Yep, it's excellent for shading. You don't have to draw this way. You know what I'm saying? Draw like this. Hold it back here. If you want to, just get used. This is about figuring out your way. You know what I'm saying? These are just suggestions to get your mind into the proper headspace. To get your shoulder moving, develop those muscles, get that muscle memory going. You know, get some sleep. Do it the next day, just to get your mind into that kind of mode. You know what I'm saying? And eventually, you'll start switching back and forth, holding it back here when you need to, holding it over here when you need to, holding it like this when you need to. You know what I'm saying? You'll just get used to it after a while. You don't have to commit. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are just suggestions.
Yeah. The thing with the drawing is like, I don't know. I still have the thing where I kind of like feel like I want to draw certain things. Like I tried to draw like a lamp, the lamp in my room yesterday, and I actually got the shade to look all right, like the lamp shade.
We're gonna go over
the body. It just like looked pretty shitty.
I didn't plan.
I don't know how, and it's like a weird shape. It's
I didn't plan a demonstration, but
cylindrical shape. So like those kind of things, I'm like, man.
So I guess we're gonna make one on the fly.
Like trying to draw that in like a somewhat realistic way. It's like a weird like pattern cylindrical shape. So like those kind of things, I'm like, man, I don't know how somebody even starts like.
So I mentioned basic shapes, right? I'm just gonna Google basic lamp, I guess. I'm not used to this new keyboard. I just need an image of a lamp, any lamp. I swear. Is it a WebP? It's an AVIF. That's why I can't copy it. Fucking bullshit. I'm about to start. Just using screenshot with some bullshit. There we go. So let's switch over. Alright, let's switch over to this. No, I'm not gonna worry about the webcam. I don't have I have my tablet back there, but I'd have to like move everything, and I don't really feel like doing that. So, hope I can demo this. Golly, I really want to switch to my tablet here. I guess I'll fucking do that, Jesus Christ. Alright, so I got it all set up here. We're gonna wing it. So, if I were to tackle this, you know, this is just to get you into the mindset of looking and breaking it down into shapes. So you could think of it as, let's make the layer a little opaque here. Alright, so you can think of this as, I might use a sketch. I guess that'll do. So you can think of this as a kind of a triangle shape, right? Maybe something like that. Something like that to start off with. I'm not used to. Oops. I still have the urge to. There we go. I'm gonna make it red. Why not? Sketch. Alright. Turn off opacity. So you can think of this as like very basic kind of shapes, right? This thing here. You can kind of break it down even more if you really wanted to. Meaning like, for instance, how do I back up? I'm trying to remember, oops. I'm trying to remember keybinds here. Give me a minute. How do I unmagnify? Okay, here we go. So you can think of this as maybe like a triangle, right? Something like that. And this would be like a square on top, maybe. You can kind of curve that out. And proportions, right? So this, you can kind of measure it if you really want to. And there's your kind of marks right there. You can kind of think of that as, so the halfway point would probably be around here. That's the halfway point. And so this shape right here, a little bit above the halfway point, right? So if I were to redraw this, the end right here would be this right here, right there, right? And this would be like a square. That's probably a little smaller. And the top would be, let's say, like I said, a wing in it, so top would be up here. And this would be like this kind of weird shape like that. And it's not exact, right? Like proportions are a little off. So we can fix that. And I have the privilege of having Control Z. So it's kind of stumpy little shape over here. If you want to kind of round it off, and this right here would be like a cylinder, right? The cylinder would be around here. I'll clean it up a little in a minute. So you can kind of see where I'm going with this, right? It's not exact. Like I said, I'm kind of winging it. Kind of giving you a quick demo. To look down because I'm not used to I'm not used to my own shit here. Kind of clean that up a bit. And then we'll go back into Sketch and clean it up a little. Like I said, just whoops. Just to kind of demonstrate, right? And this over here was kind of bulging out, so you got to think of, start off with basic shapes, right? And then we'll get into details. That's the idea. And it doesn't have to be exact. You know what I mean? Like, and it's crooked, so it's not going to look perfect. You know what I'm saying? So you just start off with very basic shapes, break it down into shapes, break it down into proportions. This is just a quick demo. So, and if you want to, you know, you can get into more details from there. Like you got this thing going on here. Whatever this is, you can name things in your head, like we got this shape here. You know what I mean? That little shape there that connects it. Just breaking it down. Alright. So we're just going I'm gonna erase this. Alright. Don't give a shit. Just erase it. So from here, so this is connected to the back in some way, right? You can think of it that way. So you got a square right there that's kind of connected to the back half here. And you got a tube. And you got a tube going kind of like that. It's long, so you kind of break it down into proportions, right? Halfway mark, probably right there. So around the halfway mark, it bends right there and goes that way. And it's long, so you can, if you really want it to, you know, get a feel for how long the whole thing is. You know what I'm saying? Like, right there. That's how long the whole thing is. The middle will probably be around there, maybe. I'm just kind of guessing. It's the halfway mark. More or less, right? Like I said, I have the benefit of Control Z. It's about halfway. So break it down to proportions. Bring it down to fourths. There's a fourth. There's a fourth. More or less. So this lamp part, this right here, starts around the fourth of the whole thing. This little base part, the top of it, is a little bit below this fourth here. Another fourth there. Oops. Four. Alright. There's your base. That's the bottom. This is the very tippy top. So you're breaking it down. Breaking it down. So that's how you kind of break that down. Get into the headspace of breaking it into proportions. So like I said, this halfway point, I should have deleted it, whatever. So this long thing, this is about halfway point. That's when it starts bending and going that way. This little mark here, this edge here, you want to line it up. You know, go down just to show you that this kind of end here is down here. So a little bit off to the side here, you know what I mean? And as for this, perspective. So this is, it's grounded, so the grounding line is shooting off in that direction. This one's shooting off. This is perfect. This is perspective stuff. It's shooting off in this direction. Guess I'm getting tired. This is a box. This is a box on the ground. A little bitty rectangle. It's simple, but just break it down, break it down. So this is a box in perspective. There's an edge right there. What are we at? 49 minutes? Goddamn. This is a box. The box. The back of that box is around right there. Right there. Right. And you got this crap in the middle, whatever this is. This digs into the box. Whoop. Kind of messy, alright. Digs into it. It's a little kind of a cubby hole, whatever this is. Digs in there. I'm gonna erase that. And it's kind of unfair that I'm tracing it, right? But I'm just giving you an example of how to break this shit down into shapes, basic shapes. You got the noodle, the noodle boy. There's a cylinder there. It probably ends around there on the surface, you know. It's grounded, not grounded, but attached to this. Whatever the hell the rest of this is. What is this? Okay, it's the little doohickey that's kind of connected to this thing. So just get into the headspace of breaking it down to shapes, you know? There's a square, You can think of this as a square. You don't even have to think of it as a cylinder. Think of it as a square. Alright. Bendy parts right here. Go straight down. Bendy parts right there. It goes that way. Into the back of the base right here, whatever that's attached to, you know? Like I said, I have the privilege of being able to trace it. So it's a little unfair, right? Because I'm tracing it, and it makes it look easy. So I don't know. I'm gonna switch back. There we go. What else? I guess I could demo another thing. Okay, I wasn't muted. I'm not sure what else I can kind of demo to kind of show off here. Let's watch. Watch Kirk some more for a little bit.
Trying to shape. I'm just like, man, I don't know how, and it's like a weird shape. It's like a weird, like, pattern, cylindrical shape. So, like, those kind of things, I'm like, man, I don't know how somebody even starts, like, trying to...
So, like I said, don't worry about patterns, don't worry about details. Just get into the overall shape. Like if I were to draw your face, I guess I could do that. Like if I were to break down your face, you know, for instance. I know this is stupid, okay? Let me pick a better, let's see here. Let's pick a better expression. Oops. Amberlid, where you go away? Do. I guess that's a little better. No, stop it. There we go. There we go. Right, let's get... I'm having to look over my camera. Help if I have it set right. So we're going to drop the opacity here. And basic shapes, right? Basic shapes. So we got overall head. I could pick a darker, gay red color. So overall head looks something like that. Over like bottom of the chin there. Kind of box in the ears. So you really though, you can start off by doing something like this. Kind of mark where the middle is. And break it down into shapes, you know. I'll make a new layer. Up the opacity of that just a little bit. So I don't know, that blue look looks like shit. Oh, because I picked the wrong. There we go. We'll do that. Something like that. So triangle, you know, square is super. I mean, nose is super easy. So actually, the underside. Underside, since we're looking up at him, at Kirk, it kind of looks like that. I'm gonna break it down into shapes, you know. You want to break it down into really simple shapes. Oops. Something like that. I know it looks goofy as fuck, but so yeah, just get a feel for proportions and the shapes and all that. So this line I made, where the nose starts and the eyes, under the eyes, and right where the ears are. I'm not that good with faces, so it's going to be harder to demo this than other things. So the overall shape of the nose, underside's right there. Underside's kind of does that. Shit that stands out to me is these like eyebrow shapes, kind of landmarks. Overall, oops, eye sockets, kind of like this. I'm just shading it in to kind of emphasize the eyebrow sockets there. So yeah, just kind of basic shapes. There's an underside, so I'm gonna kind of shade that in there. Like I said with this, just something like that. So yeah, something like that. Kind of blocking it in to kind of emphasize this idea of, you know, and it looks simple because I'm tracing, and if I were to do this on paper, I would have a lot harder of a time doing it. I tend to see shadows first, kind of like my daughter. So if I were to fuck with this contrast, let's see. Let's fuck with this for a second. Put that away. Use saturation. So if I were to drop the saturation, well, I'm the wrong layer. Whoops. No, was it? Hold on. Desaturate it. How's it doing this? Weird behavior. These up. Turn these layers off. Okay, here we go. Bring down that luminescence, and we'll fuck with this again. See how this looks. Figure this out. So this I'm gonna bump up the contrast. Here we go. To kind of emphasize. Oh fuck! I didn't mean to do that. Cancel on accident. Kind of emphasize these shadow shapes. Okay, here we go. So, I know what it is. It's the pen I'm using. Servo opacity. Let's get that. There we go. Something like that. Turn it off. All right. So I don't know if. Well, oh. I wish I had a blocky kind of looking blocky kind of brush, but it is what it is. Guess that'll do. So I tend to notice these kind of, I'm gonna kind of highlight it. Do this. I know it's probably weird that I'm like drawing on your face, you know? Tend to see shit like this. But it kind of helps to see in these kind of basic shapes, you know? So this is really pronounced shadow under right above the chin here. And of course the shape right there. Where the shoulders are, and it goes into clavicles right there. The neck goes into the back's back here, and the neck goes into the rib cage, which is like right here. Clavicles kind of do this to give an anatomy lesson. and the sternum's right here, and the neck goes into the, because the back of the neck wraps the shoulders wrap around to the back right here, like in the back. Pretend like the line doesn't exist. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, that's that. So lots of shadows. Again, thinking in shapes. A hair right here. So kind of hard to see, but something like that. Oopsie. Oh, because it's white. I'm a retard. So yeah. There we go. Something like that. See, it does kind of look like him. I'm getting the vibe of Kirk right away. More or less, right? It's not perfect, but I think y'all get what I'm saying. Where you break it down into shadows, break it down into shapes. Try to notice these shadow features, these shadowy features, and you'll get better and better as time goes on. Okay. I think that's a good enough demo for that. I'm gonna break the recording here, and we'll get back into it. All right, we're back. Let's get into it again.
To draw that in like a somewhat realistic way, like obviously it matters with the shading and stuff, but it's just a weird shape. Like I don't know, I don't even really know how you're supposed to start with that. Did more circles. I've been trying to do more circles to hopefully get circles and like ovals to hopefully get more of a ability to draw like a body framework sketch better or whatever, so like you could draw like the body parts better and the circles and stuff. And yeah, well, as you're doing it, you do notice like I was trying to draw like sine waves, and I don't know if that's like how everybody that draws with the right hand, but my preferred angle seems to be more like as probably as similar to you, like a 45-degree angle. This like that way to my right, up up and right or whatever. Maybe not exactly that. Maybe more like a possibly like a 30-degree angle. I don't know. But then when you try to draw in a way that is not with that, like if you try to draw like instead of like that, like your kind of natural drawing angle, you try to draw like this, like very straight. And with that way, like having the paper like still parallel to you or whatever, it's surprisingly difficult. Like I guess it's either you have to get used to drawing in those positions, or you just purposely move the canvas more to take advantage of the way that you draw or whatever, like the way that you prefer, I guess. But then probably not all the time.
Yeah, moving your canvas is the best way to do it. But like I said, a frame of reference is pretty good. Let's go back to the sheet of paper, I guess. Meaning like say like the bottom here is, you want it, like you'd say if you want your lines to be parallel to this, it's a good frame of reference to have. Like I said, match the angle of your natural angle. Or if you really do want to just practice, drawing horizontal lines or whatever. But like I said, I'm looking down here, like the periphery of my vision is kind of focused on that, just to get the idea of what horizontal is. You know what I mean? I'm not even going in my natural direction, but I'm just used to it. So it's just about practice. I mean, you're going to learn. Again, I have a frame of reference already. Is this horizontal line? It's like I'm just used to nailing lines from practicing so much. So yeah, it's just literally just about practice.
Move the canvas in that kind of way, but I don't know. But yeah, I haven't been like crazy with the practice, like hours and hours a day, but I've been trying to do at least a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Thing is that I've been trying to do like the coding too, but man, I just haven't felt like fucking coding or anything. Uh, Even though this is like would be the perfect time is when I'm like fasting and I need something to like distract myself. I haven't felt like playing like any games. Uh, I played Chrono Trigger and stuff, but then I just think about playing games and I'm just like, it's it's fucking weird with video games, man. I just don't fucking
Let's
feel
get
like
into. Let's
fun,
see.
right? I just think about playing them.
Yeah, I made a post on one of Billy's last videos that talking where he spoke about that one chick with that played guitar. And while I do agree with this idea that yeah, she probably is a privileged person, I was making a point where if you're really a dedicated person, like I said, he was gonna find the time to do it. Um, like for me, for instance, having a full time job, um, and being a family man, whatever. I still found the time to practice an hour a day, and I did that pretty much every day, at least an hour a day, 2014 to 2019. Um, and that's all I did. I lived and breathed sketching, like I say, later in this post. Where it's possible that somebody could literally dedicate, 2 3 years, an hour a day of their craft and get to that level that woman was playing, that girl was playing. But I didn't disagree with him. I was just kind of making a point to where like, yeah, it's possible, Um, speaking from experience, I'm not saying I'm this fabulous artist either. I'm just saying like, even if she was a no lifer, kind of neat, living off daddy, sponging off her parents or whatever. There's no denying the skill. I don't think Billy was saying that. He was just making a point to where he doesn't like see it as this mystical, magical thing. A lot of these really these simps do, like thirsty motherfuckers that that just kind of like bow to women. They see a little cleavage and it's like, oh my god, you're so beautiful, so talented, all that fucking nonsense. And she gets off on it, like she's getting off on it. There's no doubt about it. That this attention she's getting is just the only thing that makes her feel alive. Like there's no doubt about that. Um, yeah, dude, it's all about mileage. That's the word of the day is mileage. Pumping out the mileage. Um, like I said, I quit video games up until 2018. I think it's when Monster Hunter World came out, and I really wanted to play that because I was looking forward to it. So I kind of petered off on the drawing thing around 2018, but I was still drawing for an hour a day. Up until like up until when I forgave my mother. Middle of 2020 is when I really stopped kind of drawing so much, and then almost stopped completely, literally for like probably 2 years, 2 3 years, up until now. This is the most drawing I've done in forever. Let's get into this. It plays. Come on.
The
Here we go.
wherewithal to actually go through like like I see how many lazy motherfuckers there are. Uh, just in this.
But you're, to be fair, you are thinking of the normie, especially the fucking boomer gen out of all people. I know I'm talking trash about boomers again, but it's like they're the motherfuckers who so liberally use the words like talent and all that bullshit. Um, whoops, let's get that back up. Um, like it's easy to be like the average person, the average normie just has no ambition whatsoever compared to like someone like me who really wanted to get into it and put the work into it and was out to prove a point, and I was out to prove a point. And later on I realized it wasn't a very good point to make. At the end of the day, kind of a petty, kind of petty, but I did love it. Like I do love drawing. I love sketching. Like I say, I love graphic art. But the average person is, like you said, just a lazy fuck who just thinks, I don't know.
In this reality and everything. And I'm just like, there's no fucking way that some of these people are going through all the efforts that is really like from supposedly necessary to get good at any of these trades or these skills, like be it coding or drawing or plumbing or any of this shit. Like, any of these fucking skills. I just don't see where are these people coming from, because where are they finding the time to practice any of this stuff? Where are they finding the funds to be able to practice? And I know it's one of those things, like a creative.
Like I can speak for drawing. Like drawing is probably one of the cheaper hobbies to take up. You know, and I already explained the time thing. You know, an hour a day for 365 days a year, at least 365 hours a year. Multiply that by 4. You know, you got 1,200 hours. It's over 1,000 hours already of experience. And yeah, it's somebody who is a neat no-lifer who literally can spend all day drawing is going to pump out their mileage like crazy. Maybe not. It probably... You know how in, let's say, World of Warcraft, when you start skilling up... smithing or whatever it's called, let's just say cooking, and the bar goes up really quickly, right? Really, really quickly when you first start. Does it even work that way? Yeah, it does. Okay, it does work that way. So, at first, the bar fills up quickly. You can get to like level 300 and cooking pretty quickly. But after that, the bar starts, like you start getting skill ups a lot less and a lot less and a lot less. It's kind of like that. I know there's a name for that, but when it comes to drawing, let's say you spend an hour or two a day, and then you start developing skill pretty quickly. Like, for me, for instance, I think after like 6 months of drawing cartoons or ponies, I was getting really, really good after the first year. And then that skill started petering off a little bit. It's like, what's it called? Deficient gains? Something like that. Some weird, I forget the name for it. There's a name for it. But the more skill you gain, like, the less skill ups you're gonna get as you start it. Let's say a long bar represents your total skill at the end of your lifetime, right? When you first started drawing, the bar filled up like to 80%. Like the last 20% is just slow skill up. Just dependent on the person, right? So it's kind of like that, where I forgot. I lost my point completely. Let's just keep going.
Thing, but I'm just like, I don't know, man. The idiocracy out there, the many fucking lazy people out there. I'm like, do I really expect these? Am I really being made to believe that these people, yeah, fuck it. Jaywalking.
Yeah, so so I kind of went over this already, so I don't really have to go over it. So yeah, just to kind of emphasize this, reading back on my comments, this doesn't show on here, but oh well. So proportions, man, like proportions to me is making the thing look like the thing. Like I said, like, to me, if you nail down proportions, you're gonna, like, proportions is number one in my opinion. Details and shit don't matter. Work on proportions, basic shapes, shading, basic lighting. Don't worry too much about getting the lighting all perfect. You know, think of lighting as light and dark, light and dark, light and dark. And if you can nail those things, you're gonna start noticing other things. You can start getting into detail. But just for now, work on shading, two-tone shading, you know, don't get too complicated. All of that. See if you said anything else here.
Jaywalking.
I love jaywalking.
But am I really being made to believe that these people are all
I think I'm on a drink.
all able to put like hundreds, but like, you know, tens of thousands of hours to perfecting these crafts and everything?
If I were to guess total number of hours for me, golly, I would if I were to just ballpark it, probably, I want to say maybe 5,000 hours total. And you know the meme, I think there's a meme like, it takes like 10,000 hours to perfect a skill or whatever. You know that, probably not, no fucking stupid platitude push for that. But I think it's true. Like I truly feel like that's true in most cases. Like you're gonna have prodigies and all that. I don't want to hear that bullshit. Okay, those are exceptions and not the rule. Those are the really extreme exceptions and not the rule. 10,000 hours to master a skill. I'm probably at 5,000 ish, 6,000 ish if I were to just fucking throw a number out there. Mm. And I was getting. I mean, I think I'm decent. You know, I'm no fucking expert. I know the basics well enough to teach somebody and give them advice. Like here, you know, this is just perspective doohickey. Like this is just silly perspective shapes. I'm thinking of like right here. There's a focal point. 1 point perspective. There's a horizon line. You can think of that. The horizon line right there. 1 point perspective. What are they called? Oh my god, my brain's farting here. Vanishing point. That's the name. VP, vanishing point. I don't know why I kept calling it focal point. What the fuck? So, vanishing point, meaning in the horizon, you're looking out into the horizon. You could pretend that your head's right here. I got a better example. Yeah, right here. You could pretend your head's right here. You're looking out into the distance, right? You're looking out into the horizon. And the vanishing points. It's weird. It's kind of weird because it took me a long time to understand this. So, Jesus, this is too advanced. This is probably too advanced to just explain. But so 1 point perspective, 2 point perspective, meaning. So this is 1 point perspective. So meaning there's one vanishing point that these boxes. This depends. This is a dependency on the objects themselves, on where your vanishing points are going to be on the horizon. It's not necessarily so arbitrary. It's arbitrary when you make it up, and it's arbitrary when you're freehanding boxes. But in real life, it's going to depend. It's completely dependent on the object you're looking at according to your perspective. Like this little man right here, according to his perspective, these boxes these boxes are up in the air. He sees the side, he sees this side pointing that way, right? This side's pointing that way. This side right here is pointing towards him. This is pointing towards him. The front of this box is pointing towards him, right? That makes sense? But this is from his vantage point. If you had a motherfucker over here, you know, little stick man, kind of chilling, looking from over here in this direction, he would see a box like this right in front of him, right? And he would see the side of this box facing this way towards him. And his horizon line would be over here. See what I'm saying? So this is a dependency on when you draw. It's from your point of view, right? Like I said, it's a little advanced. Don't worry about this too much. But when I'm looking at this pony head, this is my point of view looking at this head. You can frame it to help you out. Like, frame the head, and this is your point of view. I don't know if I'm explaining this well enough. Like I said, if I had a little man here, looking up at this box. His little arms. He's chilling. He's looking up. This is his point of view. That's his horizon line. These are his vanishing points for this particular box. Okay? But when you're freehanding this stuff, when you're freehanding these boxes, you're gonna make it up. That's the confusing part. That was the confusing part for me for the longest time because I didn't necessarily understand. I didn't understand that, and nobody really explains it. All the tutorials I watched didn't really explain it, so for a very long time it was confusing to me. And you gotta realize that there's no such things as vanishing points. There's no such thing as 1 point perspective or 2 point perspective. Those don't exist in real life. They're just tools. There's no such thing as vanishing points or 1 point perspective or 2 point perspective in real life. They're just tools that you use to draw with. on a flat piece of paper to give the illusion of depth. And that's literally all it is. It has no substantiation in reality at all. And nobody was around to tell me that, so that's why I'm telling you. I know maybe I'm just fucking low IQ or something. I don't know. What else did I want to show? So, what your vision does... I kind of have examples here. What your vision does. Your vision isn't flat, okay? When you look out into the world through your eyeballs... I don't know, let's see if I can demonstrate this. So when you're looking out into the world with your eyeballs... There we go. So this is what people do when they draw, right? They draw a frame... frame up whatever the stupid shit they're going to draw. They pretend there's a horizon line right there. The horizon line is a H. So get in the middle there. So they think that when you draw, you treat it like as if the world is two-dimensional or three-dimensional. And the world isn't three-dimensional at all. Your vision doesn't show you flat boxes. Let's say this box was right in front of you like that, like in the other example. You can't see the sides, it's just flat on looking at you, right? Got another box over here. Let's say its vanishing point's right there. We'll line up those sides. Not quite lined up. So, from your point of view, this box, you're seeing the side of this box, right? From your vantage point. Same if you would have drawn over here, if you drew one way over here, etc. You would have drawn in the air, whatever. But I'm drawing, you see how I'm drawing these vertical lines up and down? Your vision doesn't do that, okay? When you're looking out into the world, I want you to try this. Look straight, look straight. Actually, face a wall and look straight, but focus your periphery on the sides. And you'll notice that any vertical lines, you got one vertical line going straight down. Anything else, any vertical lines going straight up and down to the side of you, they curve. This is what your vision does. Your vision does like a fisheye lens effect. That's how the real world looks. You just don't think about it because you're used to it. But if you kind of focus on your periphery, you'll notice that it kind of tunnel visions. And you can see it this way if you kind of just focus your periphery, you know? That's how, but don't worry about this, okay? This isn't important. But I'm saying our vision doesn't do this. This flat where all the vertical lines go straight up and down. It doesn't work that way. I'm just throwing that out there because I think it's interesting. So what your vision really does, I'm going to draw the horizon line again. Your vision really does this. It kind of tunnel visions in. Let's say that's right dab in the middle. Your head's right here, right? You're looking out. Your vision does this. And these lines, see how this is a straight horizontal line? Your vision does this. It starts distorting inwards. Like if you were to look out into the world, your vision starts distorting like that. It starts caving in into the horizon. It's like almost like a cone tunnel. It starts tunneling. So it does this. And it gets more extreme as you get to the outer peripheral. Like I said, this isn't important. But this is why you see me doing that exercise where I'm doing these kind of shapes. Where this will be the horizon right there. Make sure it's framed up. There we go. And the more you see the objects on your periphery, the more they start distorting. You know, see what I'm saying? You can kind of imagine that tunneling I showed you just now where it's doing this. This is like doing this. These vertical lines are starting to distort. And here's the single vanishing point. This is just for a demonstration. It's not so important. See how these all lining up to that one point right there? It's not perfect, right? But you get what I'm saying. You can see the underside from your point of view, etc. So, yeah, that's that. I don't know what else I could show.
Like that there's this many, even just things like trades, like that there's this many.
And like I said, that's not too important. Don't worry about it. Like, forget I said all that. I know it sounds weird that I showed that and tell you just forget about it. But just, it's just something interesting that it took me a while to understand. You know what I'm saying?
HVAC technicians, that there's this many master plumbers, or not even master plumbers, but you know, whatever, electricians, plumbers out there to fix all these fucking houses with all these problems that come up, that build all this shit, all these carpenters and stuff. Like, I don't know, man. And like almost none of these houses that have been around, like, they've been here for fucking ever. And you only see like a few ones being, like, new ones being built and shit.
Alright, so I guess that's that. So I think blocks, I think squares and rectangles is probably the easiest way to break down a drawing. For instance, when I draw ponies, I'd like to give a raw demo, I guess. Kind of a raw demonstration. So, let's see how this is in frame. Oops. There's Anka. Dante's dancing. Alright. So if I were to draw a pony head, right? Or ponies and the shoulders and all that. So let's start off with the head. I'm going to line up the features like that. So the blocky snout. It's really like this. I'm going to freehand it. And this is very exaggerated. It's the top. I'm drawing the top of a square here. The kind of does that. See how there's a blocky kind of block on top of the. I'm drawing like a block attached to this sphere. Now you can practice doing that. Not you, but if it's me, I practice doing that. Kind of get used to it. There's the end of that. In perspective, right? Push that down. Just a block. It's just a block sitting on a sphere, kind of attached to a sphere. That's what that is right there. And the eyes, huge pony eyes. They usually take up a huge chunk of the sphere. It's exaggerated cartoon features, Disney eyes, you know. The eyebrows. This is just the way I do it. And if I were to draw, I don't know, something like that. Some that are too much. Maybe not exactly, right? Something like that. But I do this with pen, y'all. You don't have to do this with pen. Do it with pencil. So, just kind of eyeballing it here. The neck shape kind of looks like that. And the middle of the neck, probably around here. If I were to imagine the body, you know, this is the middle of the body going down. Shoulder blades over here. Kind of wraps around. The shoulder blade wraps around. If I were to draw, I'm actually shocked that I have muscle memory like that. It freaks me out. So here's like the shoulder blade. See what I'm saying? Hairline, first of all. Ears. Basic shape. I want to wrap it around. The ears goes somewhere around here. There's the peak of the other ear. Just make the basic shape. Not so serious. Alright? I want to kind of shade it in to indicate it's in the back there. You know, whatever you want to do. If I want to draw a horn, I'm just demonstrating with the ponies because I'm used to ponies. Because I'm a faggot, I guess. I don't know. It's just easier to demo this because I know it so well. So the middle, the horn would be about right there. And the angle probably be something like... See how I'm turning my paper? I'm just trying to figure it out. The horn would probably be something like that, sticking out of the head. I'm going to draw the base, and I'm going to draw a cone. Kind of a cone shape. Spiral it up. Right? And there we go. And that's just a sketch. That's just a basic sketch, y'all. From there, if you want to draw the hair, how does Rarity's hair look? Something like that. These are just movements I'm used to, okay? Big hair. So, if I were to want this hair to look right, it would have to be way out here. So, that's the front going this way. This is going that way. Big hair. Huge hair. God damn. Something like that. It's gigantic. Jesus H. Christ. I'm gonna emphasize this a little. Like I said, this is just shit I'm used to, alright? So if I were to... How did I used to do this? I'm like having to reteach myself. So I'm gonna block out this ear. I'm just gonna shade them in. Fuck it. I don't remember. I would have to kind of study the way I used to do it. Or something like that. That's huge. It looks retarded. I don't like it. But anyway, it's just a demo, okay? It's not that fucking serious. Yeah. So, that's how you would attach shapes to other shapes. Just to give a demonstration. I'm just gonna fuck around here. Not sure what kind of expression this is supposed to be. Whatever. And doing this, like looking at it upside down and stuff, really helps to reset your brain a little bit. Like I'm turning it around to get a better idea of the overall shape. The hair's not too bad. It's not as bad as I thought it would be. It is huge though. Jesus. I don't know. Maybe something like that. And the way they go, oh, you gotta put eyelashes or the people won't know it's a girl. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. Don't listen to them. People who say shit like that, they say like, oh, it's a girl, so you gotta make sure the eyelashes are prominent. It's like, nope, it's not what makes it a female. I had so many fucking idiots repeat shit like that. They don't even know that for themselves is the worst part. So that jaw's a little too pronounced for my liking. Soften it up there. Cause she's supposed to be a girly pony. So I want to soften up all of this. Soften up all of these features. Make it less blocky. So I'm just starting off with blocks. And then from there, figure out soften up everything else. Start off with blocks, start softening it up because this is a female. Soft features for females. It's not about the fucking eyelashes. So it really pisses me off when people spread false information. Guess I've always been that way. Just built different. Whatever the meme is. So back. The booty's probably back here. If I were to guess. I'm not gonna do the whole thing, but so her backside would be going that direction. Her pony butt would be over here. Her tail would be coming out her spine. You can imagine her spine going this way, and the tail protrudes out of the spine. Anyway, what's this girlie's gonna get? It's kind of rough. A little rough. I don't know. Just a dumb demonstration of the gay shit that I like. I know Kirk don't judge me because he's into degeneracy too. It's goofy as fuck. Like I said, have fun. I have fun with this. This is what I like. I like these kind of features. You know what I'm saying? See how I started off blocky? Started off blocky. Very, very blocky. I started softening up the features to make it more feminine, quote unquote. And that's art. That's drawing. It's not so serious. And there's your 5,000 hours of experience, I guess. Whatever. What the fuck ever. It's not that serious, guys. It's another method, how do I put it? Of thinking of shapes. I don't like this too much. It's kind of interesting that this thing I was trying to get earlier, where it's like there's the flat side of the bridge between the eyes, and then it shoots off in this direction, goes down. I don't know, I was trying to do like a shape. You can kind of see the shape here that I was trying to do. I don't know. It's something to consider, I guess. I can work off that. I can edit. I can do what I want. Just lines on paper. I don't know. As for eyes, when it comes to eyes, have them point in directions, you know? It's always, you can tell they're kind of focusing on something maybe up here. I don't know. Just a quick bullshit. Kind of looks like boobs. It's much better when you're drawing eyes. Okay, if you're one of those people who's like, oh, I just want to draw eyes. Fucking draw. At least draw the goddamn circle it belongs on. Don't freehand. Don't just draw eyes out in the open to impress some girl. I know you won't do that, but they're like, oh, I want to draw eyes, and I don't fucking know what these people think. Anyway, I wanted to watch more Chrono Trigger tonight, but I think I'm kind of running out of gas. Yeah, it's like almost 2 a.m. I think that'll do for the demonstration. Yeah. Alright guys, I think that'll do. Thanks a lot, Kirk, for the video. I found it interesting, not just the drawing stuff. I think that'll do, y'all. Take it easy.